Hey guys, this is Mr. Roxy. So what I'm going to do right now is, in fact, first before I even start, I'll tell you it's March the 23rd, and it's approximately 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the Florida coast. So as I'm speaking, the CEO and the team of Energy Fuels is actually delivering their webcast and conference to discuss their earnings. But I already looked at the transcript prior to the web meeting, and it'll only take me a few minutes to make this video. So I thought I'll make the video while they do the analyst meeting. And if I find anything interesting from the analyst meeting, I can always share it again. But I wanted to do this quickly to sort of walk you through Energy Fuels. Energy Fuels is one of my small cap uranium stocks or alternative energy fuels. And of course, uranium is pretty much the cleanest, safest energy source known to man today. So forget that all the media hoopla about renewables being solar and wind and that. And I'm not dismissing them. I'm just saying there's no contest when it comes to nuclear energy, and specifically uranium, which obviously is required in order to generate nuclear energy. So let me get my little presentation up here, and we'll talk a little bit about energy fuels, so that I can sort of show you what my thinking is and show you why you should even pay attention to this company, assuming that you're interested at all. So I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview. Energy Fuels is a company that's publicly traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange in Canada, EFR, and on the New York Stock Exchange as UUU. UUUU, 4Us. I actually recorded this video on March the 22nd, I created the presentation on March the 22nd, and today is March the 23rd, so I'm a day late, but it doesn't matter. Let's talk a little bit about Energy Fuels, and then you can let me know in the comments whether this is even of interest to you at all. So currently the price target on UUUU is $5.38, according to the schmanalysts. Two of them say buy, one of them say hold. So we only have three analysts to go by. The low is $4.50, the high is $6.25. In fact, today, Energy Fuels is trading at around $6. So it's above this sort of energy target that the analysts have set for Energy Fuels. But how would they know? And anyway, there's only three of them, and they know no more and no less than what you and I do if we do our homework and do it correctly. So I'm not too worried about the analysts and what they think and what they say. As I said, this presentation I put together yesterday, and today is March the 23rd, so this is a day old. Energy Fuels pulled back about 3% today, so it's trading at about $6. It recently hit a high of almost $8, in fact, just a short while ago, and this is a three-month chart. I have been in Energy Fuels for a few months now. It's not my typical investment thesis type stock. It doesn't pay a dividend. It has a PE which is non-existent because it hasn't been making a profit. It's a smallish company. It has a market cap of below $1 billion based on its current stock price. And there's not a lot of information available on Energy Fuels unless you do a bit of digging. And I do a lot of digging before I decide to invest in any stock at all. There's two things I want to share with you about Energy Fuels. The first one is uranium. So in addition to getting interesting news from Mr. Roxy, you also get a little bit of information that will help you win your next game of Trivial Pursuit. Uranium is an important element because it provides nuclear fuel, which is used to generate electricity in nuclear power stations. Now, the reason why nuclear and uranium, as a result, took such a pounding over the last 10 years or so actually dates back all the way to Fukushima in Japan, when the tsunami hit, and there was fallout about the actual nuclear station going down. There was a risk of radiation. A couple of people unfortunately lost their lives, and I think at the time of the actual Fukushima tsunami, when it hit, two people directly related to the nuclear plant lost their lives, and that was devastating. Of course, many people lost their lives in that particular devastating event, which was a large catastrophe in that region. But be that as it may, if you look at nuclear as an energy source globally, and the multiple nuclear stations that exist all over the world, it is very, very, very safe. Probably even safer than flying in an airplane if you want a comparison with something we would do without too much hesitation. Of course, uranium is naturally radioactive. And anyway, that's kind of what it looks like. Uranium is sort of like lead in terms of its physical appearance. The other thing I want to talk about is vanadium. So I don't know much about vanadium at all, but I only learned about vanadium because of Energy Fuels. Vanadium alloys are used in nuclear reactors because of vanadium's low neutron absorbing properties. If you ask me to go in depth here on the science, then I'll just gracefully bow out because this is not my strength. Vanadium is a medium hard steel blue metal, which is quite interesting because it looks like that, which to me looks like a piece of coral reef. But anyway, I wanted to give you a little bit of background on uranium and vanadium because that is the primary source of Energy Fuels' business and potential revenue going forward. But more about that in a second. How about the earnings highlights? So yesterday they reported and they said, as of December 2020, we had working capital of $40 million, which included $22 million of cash and approximately $27 million of inventory. But this $27.6 million of inventory is a critical piece in the puzzle. Why? The inventory includes approximately 690,000 pounds of US origin uranium and 1.6 million pounds of high purity vanadium. The recent share price strength allowed Energy Fuels to raise gross proceeds of about $30 million between January 1 and March 18, so last week Friday, at a weighted average price of $5.53 per share. It has a strong working capital position and is well positioned to react very swiftly to market opportunities. Why? Because as of October 6, 2020, Energy Fuels is 100% debt free. It has cash in the bank, it has inventory, and it is debt free. Doesn't sound too bad now, does it? They said during the March 22 earnings highlights call, which was yesterday, there were no material uranium sales that were completed during 2020. They sold nothing. They also sold no vanadium during 2020. So this is really, really interesting because they said their operating loss was only $24 million for 2020. The previous year, it was $40 million, which is already a significant improvement. And remember, they have no debt and they have cash in the bank. Why did they not sell anything? Well, they are holding on to their produced product and their manufactured product because they don't want to sell it until the prices go up. And they have the ability to do that because they have cash in the bank and no debt. Very importantly, on December 21, US Congress passed an omnibus appropriation bill that included $75 million to create a proposed uranium reserve. The president, that was President Trump, signed the bill into law on December 27, 2020. We know that because President Joe Biden took office on January the 20th. This opens the door for the US government to purchase domestically produced uranium, which is also of benefit to Energy Fuels. Mark Chalmers, the Energy Fuels president and CEO, said 2020 was transformative for Energy Fuels. Uranium, rare earths, vanadium, all of which are considered critical minerals by the US government. Those are their products. Energy Fuels continues to be a leader in US uranium, where they led the US in uranium production for the 4th year in a row. They have 3 production facilities in Utah, Wyoming, and Texas, and they can quickly deploy their capacity when the uranium markets improve, as everyone expects it to do. Currently, there are approximately 53 or 54 nuclear stations under construction globally. You can look this up on Google. And a massive shortage or undersupply of available uranium. Mark further says, we significantly strengthened our balance sheet in 2020. And of course, I just mentioned that, right? Cash in the bank, debt free, and a lot of inventory. But look at this. Working capital includes 690,700 pounds of uranium valued at $23.79 per pound and 1.672 million pounds of vanadium valued at $5.11 per pound, according to their balance sheet. However, currently the uranium spot price sits at $27.40 per pound, which is almost 10% or more higher than the value as per their balance sheet. So 15% higher. And the vanadium spot price is around $8.33 per pound, which is 63% higher than what they had reported on their balance sheet. This looks pretty good, doesn't it? Debt-free inventory and cash in the bank. Looks like a good combo to me. I mentioned at the start, it's trading at about $6 per share. We look at the 1-year chart, it hit a high of $7.18 just a week or so ago on March the 15th. It's pulled back all the way to $6 in terms of where it is right now. So what would you do, guys? Firstly, are you interested in uranium as a sort of alternative energy play at all? Do you like energy fuels at $6? Is the fact that energy fuels has money in the bank a whole lot of inventory that's worth a lot of money and they haven't been selling it because they don't have to, because they can wait until they can achieve a higher price? Is that interesting to you? Is the US appropriation bill interesting to you that requires the US to build up a uranium reserve? Maybe that's interesting to you. Is the fact that they have no debt interesting to you? I wonder what the bad news is about energy fuels. If you know anything about the company and you know more than what I've just shared with you, please share with us in the comments and let me know. What do you think? Is it a buy? Is it a sell? Is it interesting at all? You let me know in the comments. I look forward to chatting with you. And as usual, you know that I look at all your comments. So stay safe, stay away from COVID, take care, and I'll see you soon. This is Mr. Oxy saying goodbye for now.